best way to really understand the special qualities of Barnes Healthcare Services after 100 years is to hear from some of the people who have made the company what it is today. So what was the company like when you first started at Barnes?
When I started, the company had a small staff, and one of the employees was the bookkeeper, and they would pay the employees off out of the cash register. I've seen a lot of changes during that period of time. You could get just about anything that you could think of from Barnes Drugstore. It was just like a general store. And if anyone would come in and ask for something and we didn't have it, we would go out and get it from the hardware store or wherever. But you could always get whatever you wanted from Barnes Drugstores.
They had a big hotel named Patterson Hotel, and they were just down in the lobby of the hotel. 3 people were working, I believe. I started out delivering, riding a bicycle, and delivering on a bicycle, I didn't have too many packages to deliver. When I got to Park Avenue, I was in the country.
The company was real nice. We had a lot of good workers, and he run a soda fountain, and that was my job, was working at the soda fountain.
And what do you remember about your first day here at Barnes?
I don't remember my first day, but I remember my first year, I guess, working here. We was at the location where the overpass is now, in a not so pretty store, and it was interesting. I started out filing.
What do you recall about your first days on the job?
I started out filing. When I started here, first of the month, we cashed numerous of Social Security and disability checks. The first week of the month was crazy. I mean, there was people lined up out the doors, paying phone bills, cashing checks, getting money orders, just anything.
What are your first memories of Barnes?
The soda fountain, the comic books, and eating ice cream in the wheelchairs in the corner of the store.
How old were you then?
I was probably 4 or 5 years old.
And what was the company like when you started?
Basically, when I started with Barnes, it was a pharmacy. It was like you walked in, and from the wall up there all the way back here was just shelves of anything like you could buy at any drugstore. And that's what it was like all the way up. And then in the corner, don't forget, we sold a lot of animal supplies. There was horse bridles, liniment, anything you could think for like a tack shop that Mr. Barnes did.
When I started, it was all just pharmacies. We had one, the downtown pharmacy, Brookwood, Forest Park, one in Lake Park, and one in Adel he bought. And when I started, I was a pharmacy technician, so I worked in all those pharmacies within the first 4 years I was here. And then we had the durable medical equipment was just sold in this downtown location, and we had a few salespeople out on the convalescent floor.
Well, when I first started, I started off in the pharmacy in Adel, Georgia. I was a pharmacy tech, and then I transferred to the Valdosta store, the main office here, about 4 years later.
In 1996, we were doing a little less than $10 million. So if I remember correctly, it was we had 4 or 5 stores, and just the Gainesville and the Tallahassee locations in Florida. So we have significantly grown as far as the number of locations on top of the revenue. And in addition to that, we've got several new product lines that we're doing. So looking at it today versus 1996, completely different.
How long have you been working for Barnes?
I've been working for Barnes. I really started probably back freshman year in high school. May have done a little bit before that, but not really. And I worked throughout high school and a little part-time in college. Didn't really start working full-time until 2007.
So what did you enjoy most about working at the Brookwood Soda Fountain?
All the college students come over, and I'd make them cherry coats, and he did honey buns.
What are your first memories of working at Barnes?
Every Sunday morning, I had to put newspapers together to sell them. That was probably 6 or 7 years old.